right, guys, welcome back to Veterans View News Network. And what I wanted to just kind of jump right into tonight is talking about our physical health. Now, I know, given everything over the last year that's transpired with the pandemic, there have been a lot of excuses that we have been making to ourselves about our physical health. Weight gain, sleeping more, less physically active. There's a laundry list of things that, we are blaming. And what we really need to do, and this includes myself, is take ownership of it. Because until you can admit to yourself that you have a problem, you cannot really do anything to fix that problem or to work in a positive manner to help fix that problem. Now, we all know problems are not fixed overnight. It takes work. You did not gain 50 pounds overnight. You did not start sleeping in till noon every day because you did it one time. You did not stop going to the gym or working out because you missed one day. This is something that evolves over a period of time, and it's our habits and our behaviors that cause that to happen. Myself included, like I said. I mean, since the start of the pandemic, I've put on weight, like 30, 40 pounds. I've been way less physically active. I haven't been playing outside with my kids as much. I've been sleeping longer than normal, and I've discussed some of this in some of my previous videos. This is totally unnatural behavior in terms of how I traditionally operate. And I'm sure there's a lot of you guys who are probably going through the same thing. You feel defeated. You feel like, at least for me, I felt this sense of almost like worthlessness. Because I felt like for a period of time, I didn't have any vision. I didn't know what type of job I wanted to do. I didn't know what I wanted to do. So what I did was I sat there, I ate unhealthy, I watched TV, I drank sodas and drank energy drinks like they were going out of style, and that's what I did. And I started sleeping way too much. So just kind of really wanting to hone in on physical health, and what we can do to better that situation. So, for instance, if you are sleeping more than you normally did pre-pandemic, this could be signs of depression. This could be, that kind of like I had that feeling of hopelessness or worthlessness where you didn't really know where you fit anymore. It could be something like that. Or if you're eating extremely unhealthy. I know for me, when I started working from home, and especially since I've been home since the end of March, I started eating a lot worse because I was surrounded by food. I didn't have to worry about taking a lunch break. Lunch break was whenever I wanted a snack, whenever I wanted a drink, I got up. I had the energy to get up, got up off the couch to go get a drink or to go get something to snack on. But I didn't have the energy to work out anymore, which is what I always did. I was always outside playing soccer with my kiddos. I coached soccer for a couple years. I was always out there. I made it a point that, and this is when I was working, this is when I had less time on my hands. I was spending more time outside playing with my kids. And that's sad. But that's the reality of it, and I'm sure that's the reality of it for you guys as well. A lot of times this stuff can be really hard for us to admit, but you have to be able to look in the mirror, and you have to be able to own up to it, which this is difficult for me, because I'm telling, who knows how many people that, I let myself get lazy, I put on weight, I started spending less time with my kids. That's not fun to talk about, but that's the truth. And that's kind of where I'm hoping, you guys can kind of see that, if you're feeling the same way, you are not alone. There are a lot of people, even around you, that you might interact with on a daily basis who are feeling the same exact way, but they don't know how to talk about it. And especially for guys, it's very difficult to talk about because guys are still supposed to be viewed as, you're a sheet of titanium. Nothing can get through you. Nothing can mess with you. Nothing can knock you off your game. You got all your ducks in a row, and that's just not the case. So, things that we can do. So, obviously, there are a lot of people who talk about making these drastic changes overnight, and that's one of the worst things you can do. I mean, if you think about it in terms of one of those diet things that you see, insert name of diet here, insert food company there, that you can get, that you see advertised all the time, where they send you meals, breakfast meals, lunch meals, dinner meals, and they send you dessert meals. That's great, and I'm sure those help people. But traditionally, those are quick fixes, and then as soon as somebody stops consuming those, they put the weight right back on. And it's because you didn't modify the mindset. You didn't modify the behavior. You didn't change your mindset in terms of what was going on. So, with like eating healthier, don't try and cut things out cold turkey. Ease into it. Maybe one week it's something as simple as, hey, you know what? I typically drink X number of sodas per day. Well, guess what? Cut that number back. If you normally drink 3 a day, now drink 2 a day. If you normally drink 2 a day, now drink 1 a day. And then let's say with food, say you eat a lot of candy or different types of gummies and stuff like that. Don't just quit cold turkey. Cut back the amount that you're eating. Because this is something you have to teach yourself and something you have to train yourself to do. And it's going to be much easier on your body if you just cut back and get to a limit or a level that you're okay with than if you just try and quit it completely. Now, I do know there are people out there who can just stop everything cold turkey and they'll be just fine. But from my experience, talking to people, doing research, the vast majority of people need a steady decline in the bad choices that they're making. So like I said, if you were drinking 3 sodas a day, go to 2. If you're drinking 2, go to 1. You're at 1, go to 0. Then go maybe 1 every other day. Whatever the case is, whatever works for you. But that will help you reduce your calorie intake, especially from the negative calories, the sugary calories, which are just going to sit in our body and turn into fat. And then in terms, that's going to make us even more lazy. But then as we start removing the unhealthy foods, then you also replace the unhealthy foods with the healthier foods. So if you were drinking 2 or 3 sodas a day, you cut back to 2, maybe now introduce a sparkling water. Or maybe replace that with, even if you have to go the diet soda route, you're at least going to be reducing your calories that you're intaking. Now, the diet soda route is not the best option, but it is at least progress in the right direction. Then also your activity. Once again, if you've been a couch potato like I've been for the last 9-10 months, you're not going to get out there. Even if pre-pandemic, if you were running 5 miles a day or however much, if you've been a couch potato, you're not going to go out there and run 5 miles. You might be able to, but your body is vastly different than it was 9-10 months ago. So you once again have to ease yourself back into it. And what can be hard about doing this for people is we get discouraged, get very easily discouraged. And it's easy for us to get discouraged because we see everybody else around us. Everywhere we drive, we see people running. It's on magazines, it's on TV, everybody talking about it still. And we put this thought into our head that there's no way you'll be able to achieve that. It's been too long. It's going to be too hard. You don't have the time for it. You don't even want to worry about it. So this is once again where it comes into easing yourself back into it. Even if it's just simple as going for a walk around your neighborhood or getting a bike or, whatever works for you. Going to the gym and just walking on the treadmill. A lot of times what I do when I walk on the treadmill, I've got my treadmill right behind this camera here. I'll watch videos on YouTube. And you know what it does? It distracts me. And then I don't even realize how long I've been walking. So, whatever you do, once again, implementing the incremental changes. Nothing drastic here. Then the other thing is obviously not sleeping as much. Now, there are a lot of people who they need 8 hours every night or they're a zombie. They need 9 hours every night or they're a zombie. For me, pre-pandemic, I needed between 4 and 5. If I got more than about 6 hours of sleep, I woke up with a headache. If I got less than that, I could function, but I was groggy. So for you guys, if you were accustomed to sleeping 8 hours a day and now you're sleeping 10, 11, 12 hours a day, you could be having some of those negative health effects as well. For me, I'm sleeping like 8, 9 hours a night now or a day. And that's terrible for me because I wake up in a bad mood. I have a headache. Just my day starts off totally wrong. So once again, it's just remodifying that mindset. And then also, if you have kids, spending more time with your kids. This has not only been difficult on us as the parents. For our kids, all my kids play soccer. We live in California. You know what they haven't been doing a lot of in California? Playing any kind of sports. Kids need to stay inside. Don't play outside. Don't play with the neighborhood kids. No sports. Even though children, statistically speaking, have the lowest chance of transmitting and receiving. So I'm not trying to get political. I'm not trying to get my video flagged on YouTube. I'm just talking science-based data. This is what science tells us. Science tells us sunlight is great at helping you fight this pandemic. If you have a good amount of vitamin D, a good amount of zinc, especially if you're a child, they should be playing outside. They're being affected by this too. And if you are the type of person that was spending time with them outside, and then as of late you haven't been, for one, they notice that. Two, they're probably asking themselves questions. Why doesn't my dad spend as much time with me anymore? Why doesn't my dad do this with me anymore? Why doesn't my dad do that with me anymore? A lot of times they have these questions. They may never voice them to you. In their mind, in that moment, it may not be that big of a deal, but the more they ask themselves these questions, they're going to start to wonder. And then if they see their friends' parents playing outside with their kids, then they're really going to start to wonder, hey, wait a second. My dad used to do this with me. Now he's not. Why? Did I do something? What did I do wrong? These are the kind of things that start happening. Is it can really start to cause a lot of issues. So just going back on the incremental changes, implementing incremental changes in your eating, modifying what you're eating along with those incremental changes, replacing some of the bads with the goods, incremental changes in terms of how much exercise you're getting. If you were walking 3,000 steps a day, start walking 4,000 steps a day, then 5,000, then 6,000. Incremental changes. If you haven't been playing with your kids as much, start playing with your kids outside more, even if it's only kicking the ball for 10 minutes. The other day on my daughter's birthday, I went outside with her and I kicked the ball with her for, maybe 20, 25 minutes. And when we went inside, we, finished getting stuff ready for her party. Her friends were coming over in a little bit. And when she talked to her grandparents that night on the phone, she told them, that was one of like the best parts of her day, was just kicking the ball with me outside. And this is a 10-year-old. So it's really not that hard. And your kids could be feeling this exact same thing, but they may not be voicing it to you. And since especially my kids have been voicing it to myself and my wife lately, we have been retargeting. We've had to take a step back and go, whoa, we were going off course, and we are implementing those small incremental changes. You know, I'm not just some guy trying to preach to you acting like my life is all set in order. My life is not. My life's a disaster, as my favorite pastor says. My life's a disaster. I am in the same journey that you guys are in. I'm just trying to provide this information to you guys because it's what's working for me based on research I've done. This is what helps people and what works for people. And I'm hoping you guys can find it useful. I mean, that's really it. So, you know, once again, guys, as always, if you guys like this content, please hit the like button. Also, if you wouldn't mind, subscribe to my channel and also turn on notifications. I'm posting videos every single day. I've got my video breakdown in the About section on my YouTube channel. I'm covering personal news and also national news. And, you know, just give these a try. If you find that you're in the same boat I'm in, give them a try. You know, what is the worst that's going to happen? You get a little more exercise. You start to eat a little healthier. You spend a little more time with your kids. Oh, that sounds terrible. No, that's exactly what we need. And I'm just trying to empower you guys to have the courage to admit when you have gone off course, you can still remember where home base is, and you can always turn that ship around and sail back home. I mean, that might sound cheesy, but that's how it is. So like I said, guys, please hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, turn on notifications. With that, I'll talk to you guys later.